and we are off in game number 1 here. Of course, a best of 3. Oh my goodness. A little bit loud off the gate, but Flixer getting ready in his chair. He's got his nice striped shirt on there, looking pretty dapper. Excited to see him play. Flixer hasn't been playing a whole lot, but neither has G.T.M. G.T.M. known to go on pretty extensive grinds, but has been on a bit of a hiatus as of late. Playing in some tournaments. Flixer popping into a couple tournaments as well, so you know, it's always good to see, even when players are not super active in the community, they'll still show up and play in competition.
For sure. Also, Flixer vibing to the cool intro music. Hear it a lot when you watch 16 Star, so it's nice that he enjoys it. And we're about to start off with the first trick of the run, Lakitu skip. Don't usually see players miss that, but it's always possible. And then right after that, we get the probably most pivotal trick of the early game. All right, both of them nail Lakitu skip. Now we have the lobby backwards long jump, and this is a big moment. It is a pretty difficult trick, which is why some people don't opt to do it, but we're going to see both of them try it. G.T.M, really good lobby backwards long jump, and he is in. Flixer is backing it up, and it looks like he has gotten it, and that is 2 of them into Bowser in the Dark World. Now, both of these guys are going to go for 8 red coins, and I'm going to need help, Saren, on the cycle that G.T.M is going for, because it looks like he did that pretty optimally.
Yeah, so G.T.M going for the box rollout movement here at the beginning. Not quite going for the elevator in between cycle, which would indicate Tsukishima cycle. We're going for Zaya here, which we have hit, grabbing that cheese block a little bit before Shig cycle. Tiny bit faster, but Flixer going for a much safer, much more consistent Shig cycle here, which you can kind of indicate by that yellow block. People call it the cheese block. As soon as it comes back in, right after it comes out, if you hit it on the earliest cycle, you can do that. It is Shig cycle. So Flixer knocking that out of the park, but GTM just slightly faster through Dark World.
We do see the firsty wall jump strat by Flixer, saves a few frames, and now the next thing is GTM's going to have to nail this throw. Usually pretty trivial, but can be challenging. Just missed the Bowser grab there. He's going to toss him, and that pretty good. We didn't see any dances. That saves just a little bit of time, and Flixer, even though it looked like it wouldn't hit, the mines, what do you call them, Saren? Mines, bombs?
Yeah, mines, bombs.
Spike balls.
They're all fair. The thing about
they have a pretty big hitbox.
The thing about the Bowser 1 fight is that the hitboxes on the bombs are actually bigger, so you can like be really far off and still hit, whereas you get to like the 3rd Bowser throw or the 2nd Bowser throw, much harder. You can throw it like pretty close and it'll feel like it's gonna hit, and then it just kind of Bowser just slides off the stage. So especially with like a lot of these players in recent, I guess probably the last year and a half, maybe 2 years, people have been going for a lot crazier Bowser strats. People are doing you know, quarter spins, half spins. People are doing like side flip, jump dive, tail grabs. There's all sorts of crazy optimizations that can really throw a wrench in anybody's Bowser.
So GTM probably gonna, oh, he's going for salt cannonless, and he doesn't get it. He's gonna back it up. Flixer is going to go for texture setup, a little bit safer, costs you about 6 seconds, and he nails it. So this is actually a really close match. Salt cannonless, called that because it was discovered by Salt and Pepper. It is what is used in world record strats, but I haven't actually seen in the runs I've done many people tried, so good on GTM for going for it. I wonder if he's going to go for it here, now that he failed it the first time, or if he's going to just go for texture setup. We are going to see texture setup. As for Flixer, we're going to see double jump Owless, and he nails it first try. Unfortunately, GTM does miss the texture setup, so he's going to have to back it up by wall jumping, and I'm assuming he's just going to do it again. That gives Flixer a bit of a lead, and he just has to do Wild Blue, which is usually not so bad.
Yeah, GTM having a lot of trouble with this texture, though. It looks like he grabbed a little bit too far to the left on the first attempt there, and then decided to reset. I think that was a good call. Sometimes you can be too far to the right and still make it, but I don't want to put too much of a magnifying glass on it, but I was dying over here when you said Salt and Pepper. I'm not gonna lie. Salt and Ginger is his name. I don't think he's gonna be offended or anything.
So sorry.
But that was pretty funny. I like that one. New nickname perhaps. Salt and Pepper. It's like
Oh,
knockoff
God,
Great
that's
Value
the name
Salt
of
and
a
Ginger.
band. Or I believe it's a rap group, but apologies there to Salt. Flixer now heading into Shifting Sandland. There are 3 stars that he's going to get in here. Usually, people like to go for pillarless, called that because you don't have to get the top to spin off by going on all 4 pillars. Unfortunately, he tosses the bomb away, but that's all right. Can be backed up here with the star right on top of the pyramid. That might give GTM a little bit of leeway to make it back, but definitely still a lead for Flixer. In terms of pillows, they're talking about the... Can you tell us more about this Tama grab, the different types of grabs you can do on the Babam to get pillarless?
Yeah, I mean, there's a million and one ways you can vary this trick to make it over, but you saw there Flixer diving before, you know, going back over the mountain. Little, I don't know what's called, ridge there. The old variation of pillarless would be you'd go over the side and then have to reline up again. You'd have to be sliding up and down the slope. Basically, you just skip that whole portion. It's a lot riskier, but it does save a little bit of time.
You also saw Flixer go for what is known as... Oh, sorry. I think GTM actually, went for Fly Guy Klepto grab. That's pretty standard. GTM is now going for a bit of a pretty solid version of pillarless, and that's going to be... So it's about a 1-star deficit right now, heading into Lethal Lava Land. GTM, I think, still has to do the Pyramid Star, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Never gonna see somebody skip Pillar Star, or excuse me, Pyramid Star. That is like the fastest star on the route, so.
And, you know, in case some of you are new here, the reason why you even do the lobby backwards long jump is because you get to do more stars like these, which are far quicker than stars you would have to do in the first lobby. So that's actually when people usually ask why even bother with it. That's why it saves quite a bit of time. Oh, we see Flixer getting Bully Star. GTM looks like, based on that camera, he's going to go for red coins. Probably, I would say, Saren, the easiest star in the run. Other than Pyramid Star?
I mean, yeah, Pyramid Star definitely, but I don't know. Wild Blue much easier. 8 red coins
I messed up Wild Blue.
8 red coins is pretty easy, but once you start burning your booty, if you're going for like advanced strats, you're not going for like the intentional initial lava burn. Definitely gets a bit harder. Once you get off cycle, it becomes a little bit of a nightmare.
It's true. The puzzle might not line up properly. So we saw the corner jump nailed by Flixer. GTM now going for it. I remember when back in 120, this was a trick that people didn't want to go for because it was difficult. And wait, was this gone for ever in 120? Or am I thinking of 16? I don't know. Because 120 they use the wing cap now, but who remembers?
Yeah, I mean, people say wing cap is faster. For me, I'm really bad at wing cap, so side hop is faster, but I run a lot more 16 star. It's not really worth going for in 120. Maybe double jump is faster? I don't know. Either way, it's like you're adding on a bunch of difficulty for not much gain, if anything. So
both Flixer and GTM, sorry, Saren, have gone for Elevator Star. Just a little bit slower than the Lava Fall, which you will typically see in world record runs, but I believe Kano for a while actually did go for Elevator Star in world record attempts. I don't think it's that much slower.
I think he still does.
Flixer hit... Oh, sorry, Saren. Well,
I'm not sure if he still does, but I know he still goes for it in tournaments for sure. I think he still does in PB attempts. Just not a big fan of that lava boost.
A lot of these runners we've been mentioning, they're actually grinding 70 star right now, which is it's pretty awesome. That's a category that's long been sort of ignored, so it's really cool to see some of the best runners in all the categories go for 70. But GTM and Flixer are at this point pretty much 16 star specialists, and they're both excellent at it, as you can see by this run. Flixer going for the very challenging triple jump box dive. It is very difficult, but he nails it, and it's a pretty close game. GTM just heading into Hazy Maze Cave, so about a 1-star deficit right now. Not sure what star GTM's going to go for. Many different options here. It's just a matter of preference what star they go for. I think we're going for the triple jump box, and both nailing it on their first try. Flixer going for Toad, again, something that you can kind of do whenever you want, as long as it's not at the end, because that would be slow. And let's see what Flixer does here. There's watch out for rolling rocks. Probably is what, I don't know. Or is he going to get... Oh, looks like we're getting rolling rocks. Nope, we are getting... Actually, don't know what the star is called.
Amazing emergency exit.
That's right. See, the problem with watching people play this game in Japanese is I don't actually see the star names.
Yeah, that's true. That's why whenever I play SMO, I always play it in English, because Chinese is faster, but I can't read Chinese either, so... I just gotta say that you probably made a certain subsect of people extremely... Oh my gosh, GTM going for his signature slide and diving into the pit. That is not something you like to see. Really, really awful thing to happen to GTM there. I mean, the slide is literally named after him. He just died to it. But like I was saying, a lot of people really getting hot and contended over whether it's triple box jump or triple jump box. So I think you just made some fans in the chat room. I'm not sure who they are, but there's some of them out there that are very, very heated about that.
Honestly, I go back and forth, so I am not very passionate either way. But we see Flixer nailing Mips grab. He went for the dive, which is a little safer and easier. See if he clips through the door pretty quickly. That's good. And now he's probably going to go for the quick wall jump, while GTM, after... Unfortunately... Oh, he just messed it up. So that gives a little... Oh! Alright, having a little trouble heading into the door, but that is alright. Flixer is now into Dar Docks. And GTM not far behind him. I'd say, what, about a 25-second gap between the two runners right now?
Yeah, hard to say. Have to check out some fade-out times. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of eyeing the fade-out times too much. I like to kind of just, vibe with the race figured out. So I like the 25 seconds. I think that's a good guess.
Oh, no. So GTM missed Mips, and he missed the backup Mips. So he's going to have to chase Mips around. Usually not too bad to get him around this corner. So he does grab him here. Flixer does not go for either chip clip or front sub. I have a feeling Flixer might have GTM his stream or his run, because typically runners will go for front sub, but if he sees he's at a lead, it's much safer to go back sub. Doesn't waste that much time. So a pretty smart strategy in a race to go for the slightly easier but way more consistent strat. GTM we might see going for front sub. We'll see. Right now, Flixer is already in. Bowser in the fire seat. GTM also struggling to get into the door. He also took about 3 attempts. Flixer, as we just saw, messed the pole glitch up. I would say, at least as a viewer, the most annoying glitch in this run. It just feels almost random when they miss it, and it can really mess up a run, because as we're going to see, Flixer now on a bit of a different cycle. He may have to wait. Oh, what a nice triple jump. That was
absolutely amazing. That's like the last second you possibly get that triple jump wall kick. So props to Flixer to making that work. But yeah, you're definitely right, especially as like a runner going for pole glitch in a run. It can feel like a very pass or fail moment for the run,
my
right?
God, did you just see that? Flixer, unfortunately GTM can't get front sub, but Flixer only getting a single booty bounce. Usually you see them go for 2. That was quite a bit risky, very swag. So Flixer kind of showing off with his lead over here. GTM still hasn't entered fire seat. We're going to see a nice and easy throw from Flixer. And the 1320 upstairs, or at least Bowser KO, not bad at all. Let's see if GTM can nail pole glitch right here. He does also miss it, so that's unfortunate. But looks to be backing up rather nicely. Flixer has gotten the star. He's going to head back into fire seat to exit course, and it's going to come down to backwards long jumps. They can be a total run killer. GTM going for the triple jump.
Wow.
Also nails it, so that's pretty good. Both of them doing a very similar strategy. Both of them doing the left side, and now we have the moment of truth in this run. This is where GTM might be able to make a bit of a comeback if Flixer... The first set of BLJs, this one is much harder. He's going for a very fast strat, and it does not look like he's catching. So he's going to have to try again. Let's see. Not catching. Oh, a little bit. No, unfortunately, I don't know if that will be enough to clip through the door. So this is where 16 star can become very unforgiving. Flixer, oh, yeah, he got through the door there. So third try for the 50 star door. This set of BLJs quite a bit easier. So Flixer definitely has a pretty commanding lead at this point, but a little bit of time for GTM to make up. He gets into Bowser in the Sky at 14:48. You know, the crazy thing, Saren, is that is actually the world record in this category, just to illustrate to the people watching how optimized this world record is at this point.
Yeah, it's crazy. And Flixer taking a bonk here on the triple jump dive at the beginning of Sky. That is not what you like to see when you're in a lead, but G.T.M does have to get through BLJs, does have some of the best BLJs in the game, so we'll see if he can bring it back. I mean, we've seen Flixer, we've seen other players have kind of, I mean, you could call it a catastrophic meltdown here in bits. It's a hard stage. Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh. And a commentator cursed by Saren right there. That is exactly what we just see. And if G.T.M nails these BLJs, he actually might even get a lead. You can see right now, they are basically neck and neck at this point. I wonder if Flixer goes for a bit of an easier strat rather than trying the triple. Nope, he's going for the triple jump dive again. This time he nails it. G.T.M actually hesitates and doesn't want to take that death, but Flixer, I didn't see what happened. Fell off the elevator there. So once again, they are extremely close, diving up the staircase, and unfortunately G.T.M just misses it, falls down, and that gives Flixer a lead. But this triple jump off the right side, Flixer nailed it, and I'm sure they won't go for the wall kick there.
And getting the triple jump,
nailing
though.
it too, and it's all going to come down to Bowser throws.
That triple jump is
Saren,
really hard. I just gotta say that. That triple jump on these elevators is not easy. People make it look easy. It's scary. You gotta know what cycle you're on. If you're like cruising through Sky and you know exactly what cycle you're on, it's fine. But like, when anything goes wrong, it can be really, really rough to grab.
So Flixer nails throw 1. It's all coming down to this. Out of throw ahead. Nails throw 2. And if Flixer can... unfortunately, G.T.M misses a throw. Flixer nails throw 3. Bit of a tongue twister there. But after a very close match, Flixer will get the victory in game 1. He kinda made it closer than maybe he would like, but was able to clutch it out. Sub 17, 1658 looked like.
Yeah,
and
7.
Pretty good. He takes game 1. G.T.M, unfortunately, a couple slip-ups early. Wasn't quite able to clutch it out, but still a very solid 17-15 from G.T.M. Great stuff here in game 1.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see how long it takes for them to get ready here for game number 2. Oh, wait. I don't know. G.T.M going through a bit of a time warp here. Maybe we'll be getting started shortly. Oh, I messed it up. Dang it. Oh, well. I did my best.
It's all good. No, it's not. It is definitely not a splice, guys. We're just syncing up the runs. Don't worry. They are perfectly legit. And game 2 is underway. So, what do we want? What do you think we're going to see in game 2? Anything you think they're going to change up their strategies? G.T.M, if you remember, went for salt cannonless. Do you think he goes for it again, or do you think that he is going to go for texture setup this time?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, had a little bit of issues setting up texture as well. So, I mean, you can argue that going for salt once is maybe the go-to option here for G.T.M. I always say, like, whatever you do in runs, whatever you're most practiced at, you should stick with in runs. Especially with something like Cannonless, where, like, you can be like, oh, yeah, Sock Boulder, super consistent. I'm going to go for Sock Boulder and races, hit it every time. But if you haven't done Sock Boulder in, 2 years, and then you go for it in races, it's like, is it really that consistent? Probably not.
I remember watching Simply try to do a damageless run on his stream, and oh no, we see G.T.M falling in the moat.
Man.
So Suiji joked about that last time. Very unfortunate, but what I was saying was that he was talking about the casual strats, and he doesn't even remember them, right? Because you don't do them in such a long time. Oh, and unfortunately, doesn't quite get Lakitu skip, so that's going to give Flixer a pretty commanding lead here in game 2. Oh, definitely can try for some more safer strats if, like you were saying, Saren, if the ones he's comfortable with. You definitely don't want to go for a strat you haven't tried in 2 years, like Sock Folder Cannonless, or doing the cannon.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, I mean, the cannon, I used to do cannons in my 16-star runs, I'm not gonna lie. Like, back in the day, I used to get, like, Bomb King and the Cannon Star with the cannon and do Koopa the Quick Race, but Didn't get very fast times, so then wouldn't quite recommend it if you want to get a good time in this game, but it's an option. You can do it.
At this point, I feel like sock folder's gotten so consistent that most new runners just learn that as opposed to doing the cannon. It's almost as easy, at least, to do it quickly. So Flixer absolutely nailing Dark World. G.T.M, though, not super far behind. So still definitely this is a race. I wouldn't say this is over by any stretch.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal, right? Because it's not do or die for Flixer, or excuse me, G.T.M, but Flixer's already, you know, through to the playoffs. There's no way Flixer doesn't qualify at this point. So G.T.M kind of has to make this one happen. I guess it could technically result in a three-way tie, and then yeah, we'd have a tiebreaker, but Flixer's like probably going to the playoffs, I guess what I'm trying to say. Whereas G.T.M loses this race, is put in a do or die situation in this race tomorrow versus Tomcar, which I don't want to be in a do or die situation versus Tomcar. I've been there before. It's not a good place to be. If Tomcar is on a hot day, I mean, you're pretty much screwed. So G.T.M really wants to bring this race back here. And so far, I mean, it's not the greatest start. Let's be real.
No, I feel like at this point it's going to require some, not just one, but maybe two mistakes from Flixer somewhere down the line and G.T.M to play pretty solid for the rest of the way. But we have seen it can happen. Every star, we should mention, is difficult. There is no free stars, you know, with maybe one exception. So let's see what Flixer does. He's going for texture setup once again and looks good. He does nail it. So that's a pretty hard trick out of the way. And G.T.M just entering Womp's Fortress right now. We will see if he goes for texture or if he goes for Salt Cannonless again. Meanwhile, Flixer probably going to be doing Owless. And we are getting texture set up from G.T.M. Having a little bit of trouble, it seems. But he does nail it, and that's the important part. Very good Owless from Flixer, too. So we're seeing some really solid gameplay from these two players. Definitely are at the top of their game right now. G.T.M probably has to go for Alice right now. Flixer is going to go for Wild Blue. So about a 1-star deficit. Easily something that can be made up. And we'll see if G.T.M can nail Owless. Does the side flip to get up. The double jump Owless, quite a bit more challenging. And unfortunately, does not quite get into the cage. We'll see him try once again. And I think this goes to what you were talking about, Saren. Triple jump is definitely easier, but if it's something he hasn't practiced, I feel like going for double jump just makes sense.
Yeah, double jump is pretty consistent. I mean, once people really get it down, it doesn't feel like they ever go back to triple jump. Obviously, going down to a slower strat, not really super common anyways, but you know, if something's super inconsistent, something's not working for you, people usually drop it, and I don't think I've ever seen someone pick up double jump Owless then drop it. But going back over to stars that aren't free, I mean, Wild Blue, you were mentioned earlier, you can mess up Wild Blue, and G.T.M having some troubles here. I mean, I think anybody who runs 16 star would be lying if they said they've never died on that star.
Oh, and that is something actually that might help G.T.M. Flixer does mess up the bomb. These bomb grabs, they look so easy when you watch speedrunners do them, but they are not easy at all. The window to grab that bomb, quite small, and if you miss it, well, it literally and figuratively blows up in your face. So, Flixer going for the backup star. He will get another 2 attempts to try and grab this bomb, and looks pretty good. That dive on the hill can also result in the bomb not cooperating, but he nails the jump, and that is the pyramid star out of the way.
Just to address the chat real quick, the another channel point reward has absolutely no impact on the stream. It was only added because someone asked for, quote, another channel point reward. So we added one that is called another channel point reward. So anytime any commentators have ever complied with your questions or your requests from the other channel point reward, it's been entirely, you know, they just decided to do that. So yeah, no, we're not going to end the stream. We will not say tomato and potato on command. I mean, some people might. Mostly just a point flex.
Unfortunately, G.T.M does not get the pillarless bomb grab, and so he's going to have to back it up as well. Flixer has quite a substantial lead at this point. Last time, I believe he went for the side flip fully, and that's a little bit easier. Not quite as fast, but what are we talking about, Saren? Maybe a second or two, or half of that?
For what, Tama Plus?
No, for going for the what's it called, the ground pound bully versus the side flip bully.
Oh yeah, it's very, very small. Side flip bully is so much more comfortable and so much more consistent. You don't really have to be, you know, close to the edge. You don't have to have the bully in the proper position when you do your ground pound. You just kind of side flip, and wherever the bully is, it's pretty much fine.
So GTM just entering Lethal Lava Land. Meanwhile, Flixer has he absolutely nailed the triple jump corner, and we will be getting the red coin star on GTM side. Flixer now, I believe he has 2 stars left, right? Or is it just the volcano star? No.
We got 2 more stars here left in the level. You leave Lava Land with 11, and then you get 1 star in HMC, then you unlock Toad.
What star? See, that's the one thing, Saren, you know, you have a lot more experience than me. I'm not used to races. It is hard to pay attention to what both runners are doing at the same time.
Yeah,
I do apologize, Chad. It is new to me.
Just wait till we get you in a live time attack event and there's 7 people on the screen. That'll be fun.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, I always preferred it. Games done quick when I'd watch. I always like to watch the single so I could pay attention to what's going on. It definitely is quite a lot going on, so trying to pay attention to all the key moments. Flixer now has, I guess I didn't realize Flixer had not done reds yet. So he does that. GTM also going for elevator star again. I've only seen one person go for the lava fall, and yeah, it's much harder, far more risky. And how much time does it actually save?
Very, very little. I mean, to even save time with lava boost, you have to go for like a Kira or Pro boost, which is like the harder variations, where you basically just do a couple of kicks and then you long jump straight at the lava fall. So yeah, not super consistent, not super worth going in races. People who do generally go for it don't typically have the best consistency rating in their races. So my hat's off to anybody who takes the L and just takes the elevator personally.
So actually, what you were saying before, Saren, we saw GTM go for the ground pound bully kill and he misses it and then has to go for just one more hit. I feel like that's a big reason to go for the side flip. It's kind of what you're talking about right now. It is a faster strat, but the time save isn't worth the potential loss if you miss it and then have to go for a backup.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely arguable. I think the benefit for side flip is much more just like the comfort side of things, because going for the ground pound and then doing a punch is pretty comparable as well. Like, neither one of the 3 options is going to really be like, oh man, you know, you're going to look back on the race and be like, that's where I messed up, right? Like, there's always going to be a bigger issue.
They both did the box jump at the literal same time. They were synced up there for a second. That was actually pretty crazy.
Yeah, the syncs get pretty crazy sometimes in races, especially when it's like a full minute or 2 of racers doing the exact same thing and they have the exact same movements, and it's like, did the production team mess up? Like, what's going on?
Oh, did you just see what happened to Flixer there? Those boulders were not, yeah, those rolling rocks, not very nice to him. So we get the C up slide again from GTM. This time he nails it. But already we have Flixer going for MIPS. So we saw a dive last time to get MIPS, slightly more consistent, slightly slower, and he nails the dive. Hopefully he doesn't grab the 17th star, shame. I've seen that once in my life, but always very funny if it happens. Gets through the door. Looks like he's just about... Oh, okay, there we go. Grabs MIPS, and now we will see if he will get the clip. Took him 3 times last time. We'll see if he can get it a bit faster. Oh, wow. What a clean door clip. So he is into Dar Dar Docks, and just now GTM is exiting Hazy Maze Cave. So it is still fairly close. We didn't see either runner go for chip clip, which is a wall clip that you can go through, or that saves a little bit of time, but... oh, we see a jump dive. I've never actually seen that before by GTM. Pretty good. And last time Flixer went for back sub. How much time does that save, front sub over back sub, Saren? I'm not actually aware myself.
It's about a second. Depends on your lag reduction strats on front sub. A lot of front sub is honestly lag reduction, because you'll see here, grabbing this rear sub, even if you try to do all these different camera angles, moving the camera around. Mario is slowing down. He's running through molasses. He's diving through gelatin. It has a hard time, this little console, rendering more than 5 polygons.
Ooh, GTM is going for chip clip, and he nails it. So doesn't save that much time, but super swag. Nice to see it. I was going to ask you, Saren, on emulator, because we are doing, I believe there are some emulator runs coming up. Would it save even less time then on emulator because of the reduced lag?
Yeah, it's pretty much not worth it on emulator at all. Most people won't even bother with it unless they're like extremely high level, I suppose. But there's a lot of strats like that, you know, like even Owlless, which saves, you know, 2 to 3, even 4 seconds, depending on your strats, the movement you're going for, on either the Owl or the Owlless. A lot of emulator runners just won't bother because it's barely a time loss to just grab the Owlless. Flixer burning his booty like in, chased around by a bomb.
Actually went for the 10 coin box.
I've never A, been that afraid of a bob-omb before, and B, seen someone get that coin box as a health backup.
It's pretty good. I did want to mention, we did talk about this last time. The unfortunate thing about missing Pole Glitch is, if you notice, Flixer had to sit there and wait for the, I don't know what you call this, the rising platform to rise. And we're going to see GTM do the same thing. And that's why missing Pole Glitch can be so devastating, is that you have to wait for the cycle. So it is a bit of a closer race now. Flixer nailing the Bowser throw. GTM just entering Bowser 2, doing 2 booty bounces. And so it's once again going to come down to backwards long jumps. Can Flixer absolutely nail them like he did last time? Or will GTM get an opportunity to avoid elimination, right? Or potential elimination?
Yeah, Flixer definitely wanted to put pressure on, wants to qualify. Right now, doesn't want to have to wait and see what's going to happen in the next couple of days.
No, definitely. I'm a big sports fan. They talk about controlling your own destiny. It's a huge thing to be able to, you know, kind of. Oh, just missing that clip right there. But that's not the big thing. The big thing here is, can he nail the 50-star door, the hardest BLJ in the entire game? Unfortunately, does not get it first try. Has to go back down the stairs. We'll see if he catches. Looks good to me, and he gets through. So lead is cut by a little bit, but should be good. The last big trick I would say, Saren, is that triple jump right towards the end of Bowser in the Sky is a big point of failure in a lot of these runs. So
definitely, and
I would assume
you see right there where GTM instantly locked into the staircase. I think one thing that Flixer is not doing in these races, I'm not sure if he does it more in PB attempts or if some's just not quite clicking here, but most people aim for that very first stair because you have more of a window to start your first A presses, your first long jump. Whereas if you hit further up the staircase on subsequent stairs, you only have like 1 frame basically to latch with the stairs. So really, really good, you know, just 16-star knowledge and execution there from GTM to make that BLJ happen.
He backs it up and then does the left side. So Flixer now is just going to have to nail the Bowser throws. Very good to back that up. I've seen a lot of players in these races, when they fail that trick, just fall down. Unfortunately, that's what we've seen right here from GTM. Falling down, unfortunately, here. And he's going to have to go for it again. Flixer, meanwhile, entering the Bowser stage, or the Bowser portion of the stage. GTM does nail it this time, but can Flixer get the 3 throws? That is throw 1, absolutely nailed. Throw 2 looks good to me, and that is 1 more throw for Flixer, and a very solid run if he can pull this off. Unfortunately, just misses wide right. So that'll give GTM a little bit of a sliver of hope, but Flixer right close to the the mine right there, and he absolutely nails throw 3. That will be it for this match. Flixer with a time of around 16:25. Very solid time, better than some of the PBs we've seen. So nothing to scoff at. GTM with a solid run as well. Just doing the Bowser throws right here. Wow. You said the hitboxes were smaller, Saren. I feel lied to.
I was actually corrected in the chat by Sweegie. The hitboxes are closer to the stage in Bowser 1. That's why they feel like they're bigger.
Suigi, by the way, current world record holder, 1440. Absolutely insane. And GTM, unfortunately, will not be able to make a comeback here. It happens, you know? Best 2 out of 3, 16 star. These runs are very hard. Still very solid times for race times. A very solid run, though, by Flixer. A 16:30 in a race is really, really solid.
Yeah, and punching his ticket to the playoffs. I mean, there's no way Flixer can get knocked out now. He is 3-for-0 in this, or I guess 3-for-3 in this group stage. Joining the likes of Sweegie, Manmud, Slippery Nip, Mr. Jimmy Steele, Kano, Benji. These are some insane playoffs. I gotta say, like, name one of those players that's not absolutely insane at this game. There's literally not one.
Oh, I don't know. Suiji's only a 1440. I mean, come on, man.
True. Yeah, could be doing better. That's right.
1430 win, right? No, but in seriousness, really, a really star-studded cast of players. Flixer definitely should be very proud of his performance. GTM, realistically, unfortunately, that moat fall at the beginning is actually what probably cost him. I think, are they going for a, oh, it looks like they're going for a bonus match, a round 3 right here. Looks like that's what we are getting, yeah. So, yeah. All right, a lot of runners like to do this, so, you know, play for pride, try and see. Usually, in my experience, these matches, sometimes they go for a bit more swag tricks because there's nothing on the line, so we might see some cool stuff here. But very, very good matches so far, I would say, Saren.
Yeah, I mean, this one is pre-recorded, so I will let the cat out of the bag a little bit and say that it'll probably be just a hard-fought match, which is just as fun to watch in my opinion, although it is cool to see stuff like Fly Guy lists get thrown out in races and that kind of thing. Both players are going to be playing with their lives here, but of course nothing really on the line. Flixer is going to be moving on with the 2-0 victory.
Fly Guy lists is that's such a hard trick. You know, I remember a lot of runners weren't even using it. When I was watching 16 star, when there was a lot of people going for it, there were a bunch of runners who just didn't incorporate it into their runs right away. It's a very hard trick.
Yeah, very difficult, not a huge payoff, but in 16 star, like 1 second is big. Like, it's huge. Like, you know, when you're running against your PB and it's like, oh my god, I'm on a huge pacer and it's like minus 1.5, you know, and it's like, this is a 3D game, right? Like in 2D games, it's pretty common to, you know, play a couple seconds off your PB and be pretty optimized, but like in a 3D space, you have so much more room for variation. You got a lot more, you know, factors to consider and to bring into contact with Mario. So it's crazy to see that 16 star is getting this optimized.
How low do you think it's going to go? Like, realistically, based on, without any sort of major discoveries, do you think we actually could get a 1439? Is that something that is reasonably possible at this point in time?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's really hard to say, you know, how low can this game go, because there's always going to be new stuff popping up. Every time someone in the Discord in here goes, oh, we figured everything out. We've decompiled the game. And then it's like next week someone's like, oh yeah, but you can just go through this wall. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, I guess that saves a couple seconds.
In my experience, I've been watching speedruns in various games since 2013. And typically there are some hypothetical skips that people think about, but that haven't really been possible for whatever reason. Are there anything in 16 star that we're like, oh, if we could just do this one little thing, it would save so much time? Or it's something we haven't even thought of or even considered yet that might end up saving those extra 5-10 seconds maybe?
Yeah, in 16 star, not so much, but overall in the game, the glorious possible end game for SM64 would be 1 key, where you don't have to get the Dark World key, and basically you'd achieve that by entering the castle through the moat door, which is underwater. So there are ways that you can grab that door underwater, but they're extremely hard. They're tasks only. Some people have, you know, theorized you could possibly do it, possibly, maybe one day, but it's really, really hard. I can't see it happening anytime soon.
Yeah, has anyone, even just on its own, let alone the speedrun, ever performed like a parallel universe glitch like that? I don't know if I've ever seen one, you know, performed in real life. Also, the other big thing is that it'll crash your game if you don't lock your camera. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. with when you use because he uses parallel universe shenanigans in order to get you go into vanish cap. You do. I mean, that's the method we're talking about, right? The vanish cap method.
I don't know a lot about 1P. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
I've not studied it
I know the
extensively.
task you're talking about. Yeah, they BLJ into vanish cap, build up a bunch of speed, exit vanish cap in the water, and then they basically clip into the moat door. In 16 star though, even if you could do that, would it actually be faster to skip Bowser 1? Like, is that actually faster? Would there be enough fast stars?
I would assume it would just get
basement?
banned. I mean, SBLJ is banned, so 16 star is kind of like just like a legacy category, right? It's just like old any percent. So having some sort of like, you know, new glitch that would break everything would probably just get banned, I would expect. It'd be like
fair.
a community discussion, of course, but I feel like that's how it would go. As GTM nails that sick double jump Alice here. Gonna be leaving Womps ahead for the first time in the series, which is something you like to see. It's always kind of a downer when, you know, a star player like GTM shows up and just kind of has a bad day, but GTM knocking off some of the dust right now off of his N64 controller, getting a pretty sick time out of Womps Fortress, and hopefully, you know, might be able to close this one out for at least a little bit of redemption here.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the thing is, Saren, you know, when you watch people do 16-star world record attempts, getting to the basement, you might be watching for an hour. You know, it's just, these tricks are so hard. And of course, in world record attempts, you would reset when that happens. But, you know, I think it's sometimes difficult to appreciate for people who don't watch this very much just how difficult these tricks are and how, you know, even the best players struggle with them. So we see GTM going for the Fly Guy strats and Flixer going for Pillarless right off the bat. Both of them nailed their respective tricks, so very, very good stuff right here. Oh, sorry, I spoke a little too soon. There we are.
Yeah, it's always funny to, I mean, I don't want to say funny, but like, I don't want to be like menacing or anything like that, but it's always funny when people, I don't know, they try to like talk a big game in chats or whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, these strats aren't too hard, and then you like, you see them try to learn the game, and they're like, oh man, this is harder than I thought, you know. You pop into their stream and they're struggling to like make it through Dark World without dying on the second red coin. Yeah, these strats are hard. I mean, it's kind of hard to fault people because speedrunners by nature will say that everything is easy, everything is free, you know, they get something every time, and then it's usually not really quite the case. These strats are just hard.
People will spend literally hundreds of hours to save a fraction of a second. Like, every single trick, including what we saw from GTM, which looks fairly easy. I'm sure he spent, you know, hours upon hours in between practice and runs doing it. So nothing about this is easy. Everything is optimized. Everything is practiced. And I guarantee you, you know, as someone who has tried to play the game or does play the game, at least the randomized version of it, these things look way easier than they are. They're all extremely... Avoiding that lava right there, that lava bubble or whatever you want to call it, even that's pretty challenging. And GTM just makes it look easy. Nothing is free, I would say, in this. Like, actually free.
Yeah, Mario moves pretty sluggishly. It's actually impressive just how fast these runners can go. I mean, you get movement without dust, and the momentum factors in this game are a huge thing, right? Like, because once you get up to speed, Mario's kind of cruising, but just from a standstill and just running forward, Mario does not accelerate very quickly, as GTM grabs the side hop with the crazy camera. Still don't understand it, but maybe I need to look into that because I see everybody doing it nowadays. That is so true, B-Duff. It's easy, free, and this run sucks. Absolutely true. Even if it's world record, the run is absolutely terrible.
Oh god, there's a video, I believe, by Average Trey about, you know, speedrunners always saying their records suck and everything sucks. So that's a bit of an interesting video on that topic. As Flixer also nails the corner jump. We see GTM going for elevator strats. This triple jump, by the way, even that's not trivial. You know, one thing we don't talk about are speed kicks. Flixer just performed one right there. Those aren't easy even. You talked about acceleration. That's one of the ways they can build up speed in a relatively short amount of time.
Yeah, speed kicks generally refer to more... if you're like in a series of movements, a speed kick is generally referred to when you're like chaining together some moves. So like if you were to dive roll out into a kick, you're kind of holding slightly forward on the stick. If you're going forward, for example, you're holding slightly forward on a stick and then you buffer a B press out of a rollout, and Mario will do a kick but maintain his momentum. So it's less of a like building up speed thing and more of a maintaining speed thing.
Oh, fair enough.
Generally.
Now the lava fall we saw, I believe GTM or just Flixer who just went for it. One of them just went for it. I think it was Flixer who just went for lava fall, which is pretty good. And we see GTM in the lead for the first time. So we will see if they can nail the, what am I supposed to say? Corner box jump or box corner jump?
I'm not even gonna attempt to. I don't want to start a war. I call it a triple box jump. A lot of people will say that is inadequate. That is not correct. But I think most people say triple box jump.
All right, so we have a double nailing of the jump in question. Flixer just a little bit behind. It's the I can't do it. Yes, that is a very fair assessment of that jump. That is definitely a lot more difficult than it looks. GTM now only 2 stars left in Hazy Maze Cave. I believe he is rolling rocks and the amazing exit. Once again, he goes for the C up strat and gets good luck with the boulders. Unfortunately, just bonks into the corner right there, but still has a decent lead over Flixer. Flixer going for the amazing emergency exit, or is it just the amazing exit?
It's an amazing emergency exit. Spelled with it's spelled like a maze. Amazing emergency exit.
All right.
You gotta go through a maze to get it, right? You can't just jump up there. It's impossible.
You know, I've always wondered if like they knew you could get stars. Like here's the exit star again. I would always wonder if Nintendo knew you could do stuff like this, and if it's intentional or just a bit of an oversight.
Definitely unintentional. I mean, it's called Amazing Emergency Exit. They have that whole platform you can like crawl over to it on, or do the monkey bars. I'd be very surprised if anybody in testing was like, oh, I could just do a double jump, wall kick here, and then long jump over.
You know, the funny thing is, you actually can get there a second way by clipping through that floor. You can do a side flip and just clip through the floor where you're supposed to exit the maze and just climb on the ceiling that way if you really want to. Or GTM nails MIPS, and can he get in? All right, gets in fairly quickly. So we have GTM with a pretty sizable lead. Flixer also nailing MIPS grab right here. Very close race. I wonder, GTM did go for chip clip last time, does not, oh, yes, looks like he is going to go for it, and unfortunately he misses it. So help me out, Saren. How much time does chip clip actually save if you nail it?
That one's actually a little bit harder. I'm not quite sure what the official decision on that one is yet. I usually wait to hear about it in commentary about 17 times before it finally clicks in my brain. But I think it's around like a second and a half.
Fair enough.
I think in like 120 people theorize it saves like 3 to 4 seconds or something. Maybe it's 6. I don't think it's more than 1.5 seconds though.
But the thing is, in 120, you perform it, what, 3-4 times, I believe, versus just a single time in 16 star. Obviously for 0-1 star, you have to go for it, right?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to, but if you're going for world record attempts, you're not doing chip clip. I mean, if you're doing, you know, 0-star DDD skip and you're too scared of chip clip, you're in the wrong category probably. God, when is Cool Cat's gonna be doing a 0-star race? That's what I want to know. Oh boy, I cannot wait for 45 minutes to an hour long matches for a category that takes 10 minutes.
You know, I mean,
if you got the right players, you could probably do it, but what has been done before is an any percent tournament, which would be interesting, where people can go for 0, 1, or 16. Obviously 0 or 1 star, mostly what's done there, but it gives you a little bit more options where it's like, you're not forced to get DDD skip, right? But if you do get it, you're in a huge advantage.
You know, not to be too off topic, but I used to think mistakenly that 1 star was just a backup if you failed 0 star, and now that I realize what they both are, you probably can't really get away with doing that. It just wastes so much time if you screw up 0 star that even if you clip into the 30-star door, it just isn't worth it. Either way, GTM absolutely nails the Bowser throw, and 1330 is not too bad to exit Bowser 2. Flixer right behind, just grabbing the tail. You gotta wait till the platform is completely stationary to grab it. Pretty generous hitboxes, and It all's going to come down to BLJs. And Saren, you were telling me GTM is one of the best at BLJs?
Yeah, I mean, when you get down to a low 15, you got to be one of the best at BLJs. It's a very inconsistent strategy, and it's right near the end of the run. So if you're not like sitting there grinding your BLJs, notice where he hits the stair there, right? He's right at the bottom. Okay, he makes it through. He talks to the door somehow, but makes it through. I think he might have gone neutral a little bit too fast there, but doesn't make it in. We'll see where Flixer hits on the stairs, but something that you need to be very aware of if you're going for these BLJs.
And all right, so not the perfect second BLJ, but still able to maintain his lead before Flixer even... He's in Bowser in the Sky before Flixer even attempts the first set of BLJs, so that's... I think that's what you were talking about, is that Flixer is a little higher on the staircase than GTM is.
Yeah, that, and it seems like Flixer isn't so worried about... There's like two different kind of long jump animations you can get, right? There's one where Mario's arms are kind of to their sides and he like flaps them side to side, and there's one where his arms are like flailing around in the air. And both different, you know, kind of animations are going to make it different to where you need to press A when you hit the stairs. So most runners you'll see, you know, that are really consistent at BLJs, they hit the first staircase and they try to have the same long jump animation. You see how Flixer's arms are kind of flailing around in the air there? And now they're like just side to side. Can make it a bit more difficult.
Now, if GTM nails these throws, we're probably going to get a sub 16. Which is... unfortunate. Just missed that throw over there. Whose world record recently had a missed Bowser throw? One of them recently had a missed throw. So, I think Liam's former 120-star world record actually had a missed Bowser throw. So, these throws are not easy. Even for the best of the best. And it's going to be close. I think GTM ended up getting the sub 16 here.
Yeah?
Which is...
I think so.
It's going to be very close. Oh. Yeah, 15:56 if I'm not mistaken. Flixer not too far behind. Can end up getting a pretty good time himself. 15:55. Put that in context for those of you watching. 15:55 is in the top 75 runs ever performed. So, not bad at all.
Yeah, pretty
Flixer
good,
doing his
know.
own Bowser throw. Oh, sorry, Saren.
It would just take, you know, me or somebody else that's been grinding this game for years to sit and grind for like, I don't know, 100, 200 hours max or minimum. Like, that's a really good time. A 15 at all in this game is so hard. It is incredibly difficult. It's becoming less and less, like, prestigious nowadays because so many people has it, but, like, the only reason so many people have it nowadays is that there's so many more players, like, throwing their entire lives at this game. They just, like, they get off school, they get off work, they go home, they play Mario 64, right? Which is crazy, it's cool, but it's like, you gotta remember, like, these times are still really, really good.
I just, you know, just to give you guys an idea, speedrun.com, a lot of people don't submit runs. There are 1,500 people who submitted runs. You know, this is a very, very big category. And it's really a privilege to watch players this great at the game perform at such a high level in a race setting. Really, really awesome.